Welcome to the Instagram Stories for Monday, August 4th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. Before we get into the questions and answers from the head of Instagram, there's some news to talk about. First, the @creators account posted a guide for how to engage an audience using every different surface on Instagram and how those surfaces are different. The guide is a graphic, but I will break it down and explain it on today's episode. Additionally, the Instagram @creators account shares some updates for analytics, including showing what part of a reel someone actually liked, meaning when did they double tap it or click the heart icon at what point in the video. Additionally, they do the same thing for carousels now, showing you which photo or video in a carousel was the one that someone either double tapped or clicked the heart icon on. Additionally, there's some new demographic data that you can now see about who's viewing your specific reels and posts. We'll get into all of that on today's episode. And the head of Instagram will answer questions like, are hashtags still useful? And does using the Edits app help to boost engagement in the algorithm? And does using AI help with reach? All of these questions and more on today's episode. But first, here's a quick word from our sponsors. Welcome back. Let's start with the @creators account post called Engaging by Surface on Instagram. There are multiple ways to post on Instagram. Reels, carousels, stories, live, broadcast channels. There's so many different ways. When do you use each type? This graphic explains it really well, and I'm going to do my best to convey this through an audio medium. Here we go. First, Reels and carousels are for reaching new audiences. These are people who do not follow you already. Carousels, single photos, and stories are for engaging your existing followers. Lives and broadcast channels are for nurturing your most loyal fans. This chart is really helpful. It's an excellent reference, especially if you're new to the platform and overwhelmed by all the different ways that you can post on Instagram. I will link to this graphic so that you can check it out in the show notes. Let's move on to the other Instagram news. The @creators account made a new post called Instagram Insight Updates with a ton of updates to how Instagram analytics work. First, they're introducing when people liked your reel, which is an interactive chart indicating the specific part of your reel that someone liked. You can learn a lot about what engaged your audience by seeing the exact moment they liked your reel. This information can help you to refine your creative process and to make more captivating reels. Additionally, they are bringing a similar insight to carousels and showing creators when people liked your carousel. This insight reveals which slides people were viewing when they liked your carousel. This gives you a much deeper understanding of what part of your carousel people particularly enjoyed and helps you make data-driven decisions for your future content. They've also added the ability to see demographics at the post level. Historically, you could only see your audience's demographics, gender, country, and age for your entire account. But now you can see the demographics of who's viewing specific reels and posts. This can be really helpful to understand who your content is resonating with. If one of your reels starts blowing up, it may be because it's overperforming with people beyond your typical audience. Now you'll be able to see the demographics of those viewers. The Instagram team is also adding the ability to see which content has been most effective at driving new followers to your account. In the Insights section, there is a new part called Followers, and they will display your top performing content in a single place so you can see which reels and posts were the most effective at converting new viewers to followers and better understand how to replicate that for future success. There's another change that Instagram is making with respect to analytics. Right now, when you view a post, you see how many accounts that post reached. They are replacing that metric, accounts, with viewers. Viewers measures the number of accounts that have viewed that content. There's a lot to unpack in this change. I will link to this post in the show notes so you can see all of it for yourself. Let's move on to the questions and answers from the head of Instagram. We'll do all the reach-related ones first. The first one, does using AI help my reach? Good question.
We don't boost or demote content because it's AI. What I would say, though, is that there are lots of really amazing AI tools out there right now. And I would try to figure out if there are any tools that can help you do what you do. Either do more of the good work you do more of the good work you do, or do the work that you already do well even better. Because if so, then that can help your reach indirectly. But we're not going to demote or promote content just because it is or it is not made with AI.
If content is made with AI and it is very engaging, it might get you more reach. That's one way to look at it. Or someone might see that content, think it is AI slop, and therefore not spend time on that post. So it matters more what is the quality of that post. The next question has to do with Reach and the Edits app. If you're not familiar, Edits is the video editing app that Instagram has rolled out, similar to CapCut, except Edits is completely free for now. The question, does using Edits help the algorithm boost my engagement?
For now, Edits does help a little bit with reach. It's not going to be something that's going to be around forever. Do not just use Edits to try to pass through content. We can check that. But we are trying to bootstrap the app. And we also find that predicting whether or not you're going to tap on the Edits button is something that we can add to ranking and therefore hopefully show more of this content to people who are actually interested in it and who might be interested in the app itself. So now it can be a little bit of a helper, but it's not something that's going to be around forever, and it's not a huge thing.
So you can get a little bit of a boost by using the Edits app. That's what I heard. Let's go on to the next question. Can using trial reels hurt my account? I can't see why you would think that trial reels would hurt your account. Trial reels are a chance for you to get in front of people who do not follow you and see if they like that piece of content.
Trials are not going to hurt your account. The idea behind trials is to create a way for people to publish something, a reel, without necessarily bothering their followers. Maybe they want to reach non-followers for a reason, like they're posting about something they don't normally post about, or maybe they want to try something out to see if it works before they upgrade it to their followers. But the whole point is to allow people to feel a little bit more comfortable being creative. So no, it does not hurt your account. If anything, it's going to help.
And the last question we're going to do about reach has to do with hashtags. It's been a little bit since we talked about hashtags on the show. Are they still relevant? Are they still worth using? Here's Adam's answer.
Hashtags can be useful. They're not going to meaningfully increase your reach, so it's not a reach hack. But if you want to use hashtags to connect accounts or to help better tell your story, please feel free to go ahead. It'll be a nice thing to use.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about stories. Can there be subtitles in stories in other languages? Does music in stories matter? And other questions. Stick around. Welcome back. We're continuing with questions and answers from the head of Instagram, and now we're going to do all the stories related questions. The first, does music in stories matter?
I wouldn't force it, but generally speaking, yes. Music can make stories, photos, carousels, videos more engaging, so it can help, but only if there's a reason for it or for a way it makes sense.
It's worth it to add a song. It takes like an extra 5 seconds, and someone might spend a little bit longer on your story. If you want that, if that's important to you, take the extra 5 seconds and do it. Next question. Can we get subtitles in stories in other countries too? I'm in Norway, but do all in English.
Yes, we don't support this yet, but we do need to support automatic captions or caption stickers in more languages. We are working on it, hoping some of these new AI models will help us scale up more quickly. For now, it's just English, but a lot of people who use this platform don't speak English. And so it's definitely in our interest to get this done. It's on our radar.
The next question has to do with a change that Instagram made a little while back, adding view counts to feed posts. The question, why did you add view counts to feed posts? They're already in Reels. Here's Adam's answer.
Because we want to make it easier for you to compare how a feed post in a Reel does. And we think that the more consistent the metrics are, the more it's going to be easy to get a sense for how one thing is doing relative to the other, whether or not it's a Reel and a feed post or a Reel and a Reel or post and a post.
So the basic answer there is for comparison purposes. So you can compare apples to apples and see how posts are performing regardless of what kind of content they are. The last question we're going to talk about today. Do my Instagram posts go automatically to Facebook now? What about Threads? Here's Adam's answer.
No, they don't. But you can cross-post your Instagram posts to both Facebook and Threads. And you can also make your posts eligible to show up as recommendations on Facebook. You can control that, but I would just suggest cross-posting, particularly if you have accounts on Facebook and Threads. And as you go through the post flow, you'll see that in the options. This is just if you want to reach people on those platforms.
I'm just going to say right off the bat, if you are not using cross-posting, I think you're missing out on an opportunity. It doesn't take any extra time to just turn on cross-posting. It can go to Facebook and go to Threads. every place that Instagram gives you the opportunity to share that content to, I think you should, because you don't have to go to those platforms and post separately. On another note, when it comes to cross-posting, some of my friends, I notice, now have the ability to post their Instagram stories to WhatsApp stories automatically. I do not have this ability yet, but I think that is something that is very important because there are many people who refuse to get Instagram, who refuse to get TikTok, who think they're too good for social media, but they spend all their time looking at WhatsApp stories, and I think you want to reach those people as well. Okay, that's going to do it for today's episode. I'm going to have a little bit more from Adam after the rap music. If you want to hear it, stick around.
Let me tell you a couple things that you should know about me. A product manager but do not have a bachelor's degree. But actually that's factually a fraction of me. Another fraction's posting content irregular and irrationally. Still probably won't get a job at the Gram. They forgot, they don't know, or don't care who I am. That's why you never see me at the parties and events. My lack of followers must make me irrelevant. Don't have a course, a book to sell to make a bag of grand. Not a social media marketer, don't represent any brands. Plain to see, don't have an agency. But I got a lot of spam, just putting in my work without the glitz and glam. Won't catch me eating fish unless it's shrimp or clam. No six pack, no risk that there's a gym card in my hand. Don't have a full-time job, but I got a lot of plans. Stay plotting, dropping knowledge on TikTok and Instagram.
Last week, you might recall that I wanted to do an Ask Me Anything based on Adam Mosseri's question and answers. He posted the question, but he never actually did the AMA. I also thought that maybe I missed it somehow because I had a busy weekend, but no, I was not losing my mind after all.
Also, I forgot to say this up front. Last week, I posted a question sticker to do my AMA like normal, and I just forgot to do it. And so I wanted to apologize. I'm sorry. I will try and be better. We've been doing these AMAs for 6 or 7 years now. I try my best to be consistent and to not miss a Friday, even if I'm on vacation, and I messed up last week. My bad.
It's funny that he mentioned how long he's been doing this because I have every single one of them saved on my computer. If you ever need one, you want me to find it, I will do my best. I have it in a giant folder. I need to do better at sorting that and turning it into some kind of repository that's searchable. One day I will get to that, I promise.